Yes, hello, habari yenu? Yeah, I hope you are doing well. Leo nimekuja kwa show so that we can be able to understand the rhetoric which is happening in the Kenyan soil. Na tujiulize kulingana na vile mambo inaendelea. Are things positive on the side of government or are they positive on the side of opposition? Because we also keeping on auditing that. Lakini kwa zile siku chache nimekuwa nikiangalia hii maneno ni ya kwamba kuna upande mmoja umetumia pesa mingi sana, but the issues don't seem to peak. For instance, serikali ya Kenya wamekuwa wakifanya empowerment, multi-million sharing events, which still Kenyans are not believing. I have heard from many people ya kwamba hakuna Mkenya alienda na pikipiki hata moja ile siku watu wameenda State House. So that is something you need to audit. There is a risk here even for Ruto himself. If Ruto will lie to the young people, the new hatred which will be on him, it will be in double portion, shaken. Mnajuanga vile mnasema. So I don't think even if Ruto wants to do some crowd chasing, he cannot afford to lie. Kama kuna pikipiki anapeana, he better make sure ziko hapo. Kama kuna visiagi anapeana, he must make sure ziko hapo. Kama kuna maduka anafungua, kama kuna pesa zinapeano, he must make sure those things are there. Because if those things are not there and they are only for optics, the amount of hatred he is going to cause to now the people who actually were not even aware of him, itakuwa mbaya sana. In fact, if he continues in that trajectory, he will engineer his own rejection in the poll. He might be thinking that ni unjanja ako nayo, he is pretending that to do a lot of service to Kenyans. Lakini kama hizo pikipiki ni uongo, kama hizo visi yake tunaonesha huko kwa State House ni uongo, he better stop, because he is building a very, very bad environment for himself. Lakini sisi hivyo ndivyo tunataka anyway. So he can continue in that dangerous track, but in a normal. Something which I also wanted you to understand, na nilikuwa nikitaka muelewe even the reason why we had been having so many Wakorino issues in Kenya. You are hearing of sijui Karango, you are hearing of sijui mama yake, all those people. Now I think as part of crowd chasing, so I wanted you now to understand something. The Akorino Church of Kenya has agreed to support Ruto. Akorino. So I wanted to start with that. So I don't know why the Akorino Church has decided to be on the reward side of thinking, but it is so sad that it was a serious news, so I think let me just look for, I just saw it. Na pia nilisikia mkiambiwa msikue mnashare vitu za Gachagua. That's also something which you should note. Gachagua pia is finalizing his trip in the US. Maybe he could return again, but I think his trip has been very successful, which is something which we should be keen towards. So wacha nitafute let me see if I can see it. Anyway, but I saw something. I saw it somewhere. So just give me a kidogo tu. I don't want to show the devolution thing. Let me. Let me look for it in my phone. Nilishaiona kwa simu. Na karibuni kwa show wale mnaingia. Yeah, I can see Anne is there. So nilikuwa nikitaka kuangalilia hiyo ya that news of Wakorino because the Wakorino news are quite let me see kama ni hii inasema Rigathi akatiza ziara. Let me look for it. Karibuni sana kwa show. Yeah, let me see. Malala. Wacha niweke Malala as I wait for you. I think yes, Licre. I think Malala is talking about how people should welcome, and I predicted it here. And I think now you have to now start understanding my prediction. I said here, Gachagua returning will be very monumental. They would try to so hata hiyo story ya Murkomen alikuwa anasema watakamata Gachagua ilikuwa kupima hewa is ni litmus test walikuwa wanasema huyu mtu tukisema tunamshika what is the reaction in the ground. Ni washapata a very irritating reaction in the ground ya kwamba Kenyans will be ready to stand with Gachagua. So be assured that Gachagua cannot be arrested. So hiyo ilikuwa kupima. So Murkomen did not just say that. Ilikuwa tu kupima.
It is with pride that we announce the return of our party leader, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, following a highly successful official tour of the United States of America. I am pleased to announce to the country that his plane will land at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on Thursday, 21st August 2025 at exactly 12 noon. During his highly successful USA
Gachagua anarudi next week Thursday, that is 21st. 1 week from today. Ndio Gachagua anarudi. So mark that word. I said it. You will see the mammoth crowd which will be in the airport. I hope they will not try to block it. Lakini nilisema pia wale Wanjaruo wanakuanga na zile inaitwa nini? Zile manini za kuku ama ni za tai. They will be there. So it will be this is now the preparation of the leader. So now this is the preparation of Gachagua as he is returning from the US. One of the most monumental visits by a Kenyan leader in the history of our country. No one has ever done what Gachagua has done. visiting over 10 states. Gachagua ni kama he has met with like close to 50% of Kenyans who live abroad, because he went to places which are dense. So, and he needs to be welcomed because he did a lot of crusade, and he did a lot of connections and the network. So let's hear what Marara has to say. Kabla niwaletee wako Rhino.
Visit His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, our party leader, met Kenyans in Seattle, Boston, Dallas, Kansas City, and Baltimore, launching DCP satellite offices in key states, including Texas and Washington. He rallied our brothers and sisters abroad to prepare for active political participation and to return home to help rebuild this nation from the ruins of corruption and misrule. It is well known and deeply troubling fact that State House, Nairobi, has become less a seat of national leadership and more a theater of betrayal, a scene of crime where backroom deals are struck, not in service of the Kenyan people, but in league with butchers of children in neighboring countries. Within those guarded walls, the future of our nation is battered away from crumbs of tokenism, as the destiny of millions could be traded like cheap trinkets. Decisions made there do not echo with the voice of the people. They reek of the stench of greed, complicity, and moral decay, turning what should be the heart of our democracy into an auction house for our sovereignty and birthright of generations to come. While our party leader was abroad, forging a path for democracy renewal, the regime was hatching a dangerous and cold-blooded plot. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and Interior Minister Kipchumba Murkomen have shamelessly issued public threats to arrest His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua upon his arrival. Intelligence reaching us points to a scheme so evil, so cowardly, that it chills the soul. Their intent is to subject our party leader to slow and silent assassination by poisoning, the very same cruel method once inflicted on the late Kenneth Matiba while in state custody. This is not hearsay. It is a deliberate plot to silence the voice of the people of Kenya by physically destroying its leadership. Their plan upon our party leader's arrival at JKIA is to abduct, intimidate, brutalize, and eventually place him under house arrest, cut him off from his supporters, and deny him the right to address the nation. They want to kill his voice and his body at the same time. But let this be crystal clear. If they dare lay a hand on him, the country will grind to a halt. They did this during his impeachment. He responded by asking his supporters to stand down and protest by singing melodies. But this time round, let the plotters know that the song is different. The rhythm is tougher, and we will turn into a cacophony of defiance. There comes a time when enough has to be enough, and that time is now. Honorable Nelson Koech, the chairperson of the National has revealed another calculated provocation, a plan to divert His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's flight to Mombasa or Kisumu International Airport so that they deny him an opportunity to give a much anticipated address to the nation. This disruptive plan by a paranoid regime will not only disrupt the travel plans of innocent passengers, but also risk damaging Kenya's foreign relations. Our message is simple. We will not be intimidated. If they divert the plane, our supporters in Kisumu and Mombasa will turn those airports into oceans of DCP colors and defiance. This threat is not new. It is part of a sustained campaign to cripple the opposition with brutality. Our leaders have been tear gassed, beaten up, and humiliated in several parts of our country, including Subukia, Kakamega, Gilgil, Muranga, and even within the walls of sacred places of worship. This is the mark of a regime that fears the people's will and seek to drown it in violence. We are calling upon our supporters in Nairobi, Kisumu, and Mombasa to turn up in unprecedented numbers. This is not just a welcome. It is a statement to the world that Kenya belongs to her people, not to a clique of power-hungry men who weaponize the state against its citizens. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, our party leader, has cut short his trip to return home and give leadership in the coming by-elections. This is a moment of reckoning. I urge all the DCP supporters and Kenyans yearning for change to turn up in large numbers at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to welcome our beloved party leader. Your presence is your power. Your numbers are your shield. Your unity is our victory. The Democracy for the Citizens Party's message is clear. Kenya will not be auctioned, not now. Together, we will reclaim our country, restore truth, dignity, and justice, and build a government that serves with humility. Thursday at 12 noon will be the return of our general, our beloved party leader, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. I urge you, be there, stand firm, stand proud, and stand for Kenya. We ask our party members to start converging at JKIA from 6 a.m. in the morning. We will be there with song and dance to welcome our hero, our party leader, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. Thank you.
Yeah, that is the welcome note from Kiriopa Marara, speaking on behalf of his general. Take that one into consideration. So he is speaking on behalf of his boss. So let's wait and see what will happen there. The same time, I've also seen people in Kisumu. They are like speaking very ill about the government of Ruto, the MP. So there is a Mwindi MP who is also very brutal with the truth, and nikashindwa huyu mtu wako ODM mama ako wapi? But there's a guy called Shakir Shabil. I think he was trying to attack Ruto when Ruto claimed that there is a lot of he was trying to attack when they said that there is a lot of corruption. I think there is a place where Ruto said that the parliament is very corrupt. And I think now some of these MPs had to come and...
I have never received a coin to give. That is myself. I've never received any money to give. It depends on whether you ask for money yourself. I have never. Bring it here. Let me it up.
You get the Bible.
I have never received money to give.
Sometimes
you don't know we have a chorus of opposition.
Okay. Let Dr. Mtunga.
We should be given a chance to adjudicate our point with a lot of respect, Shabir.
All right, one Shakil,
I have not had the time.
Let him have his
He has had more than enough time to say all these things.
No. Why don't you want me to finish my point? Because all of you are speaking from one side. I need time to respond.
We will show you where you are wrong.
But you wait for your time to show.
All right, can I
finish?
Let him finish. Let him finish.
He will not finish before he
now. My friend here says
because
he says that if empowerment is coming in terms of motorbikes and others, I accept it. But if it comes in form of money,
no, we are saying
what is he talking about?
Even if it's in money or motorbikes, do not discriminate other
if it is no
parts of the
empowerment, there should
country.
be no empowerment. So he actually recognizes this is empowerment.
It is theft and bribery.
Cash can also be used to buy those things in a different way. If you go to a women group whose total borrowing capacity is 30,000, and you enhance that kitty by 20,000, it becomes 50,000. These are empowered people. So what are we talking about here? We are just trying to vilify a very important point.
I think you need to give me
I want to remind Mutunga.
I think you need to give me
He is a PhD holder.
And very analytical.
As he speaks.
Nobody has broken my record in KU.
Remember that.
Let me
Talk.
tell you that.
Talk.
My record in KU stands today. Nobody has broken it.
When he talks about the economic empowerment,
Record on
PhD
what?
holder,
I did my PhD in legal.
let him talk.
3 years. 3 months.
Okay. Let Shakil continue, then we'll come to you.
I want to ask you one thing. Which committees are the ones people ask for the most? There is literally blood spilt. Roads, agriculture, budget, finance. Yeah? Which are the other ones? Broadcasting, catering committee. These, and I will promise you, and you know that I can even promise you, and I can show you.
Bring it up.
Bring it up. Namnangani. You see, if you want to, you can say what you want. But let me tell you one thing. When you come to empowerment, I have seen him. This is a fact, and I'll tell you. You are called so and so, come to this empowerment. You will be given transport. Unafika pale.
If you don't have transport at your
No, listen to me. You have talked so much. Just because you have one PhD, I have 4 degrees, my friend.
All right.
More than you.
Doesn't matter.
Now, please listen to me.
I did say that.
No, you
He
did.
said it because he
did say-
recognizes and knows.
Yeah, because what he's saying is it doesn't
It's
fit
a-
that
it's a reverse.
expectation.
No, you see, the situation is this. This is a fact. You're told, come, we're going to give you transportation. Then when you come and sit down there, how come everybody gives 100,000 shillings? You notice next time, everybody gives 100,000 shillings. 100.
Give what I have.
Because you look, you can talk what you want. You've had a lot of time. You're a second termer, Bon. I'm 4th termer. It's not okay.
Yeah.
You must understand
Depends on
certain
the levels
things.
of exposure.
No,
You're exposed to that
certain
direction.
things you must understand. And if you admit, your agriculture committee is a money maker. How? Oh yes, how? Whether it's sugar, whether it's fertilizer, whether it's giving rice
Subsidies.
To the committee members? We would like you to prove that. We would like you to prove that.
Chair,
I would be very happy.
Chair,
because
if I'm the president
committee for
and I'm advising
3
the
years that I've
president
never made a
as the
cent.
chairman of APNAC and African Parliamentarians Against Corruption, and we are recognized throughout the world. Chairman, May Excellency the President, I'm looking at you. You may feel that you want to stop corruption, take the first step. Get rid of all these committee chairs, all of them. Yeah, I'm not one. Get rid of all of them. And then also inform your ministers, you shall not give any inducement.
So you should not just leave it at pronouncing that you have chairman or the committees which are being bribed. So you should reshuffle. The entire.
No, you should be the first one to resign, my friend. Why don't you?
If you can prove, Shabir, if you can prove today anything that I do has never been through influence,
listen to me.
I'm ready and willing to resign.
Already,
you seem to be having confirmable facts regarding
give us a fact.
the affairs of the agriculture committee.
Yes.
Do you have any?
Yes.
Do you have any that you can table on this particular show?
We did when it came to the fertilizer. We did when we talked about the maize.
So how did the committee benefit from fertilizer, Mr. Shabir?
Where did you table it?
Excuse me. Let Shabir tell us how the members of the committee benefited from the fertilizer saga, or from the sugar, or from the rice. Please tell us.
Okay, let me tell you one.
Malbera, I choose my version the way I want. So I can wear a DCP color. I can wear a black color. So don't be worried about that. That's my own version. So that was that was somebody from Nyanza who that was anyway, I'm used to this kind of kofias. So sio kumaanisha ati you will come to appreciate it later on. You know, because in the politics, you cannot play lukewarm politics. You have to start supporting a front when people are fighting. So you cannot be an island. So Bwana Malbela, my support for DCP is not being pushed by anyone to be there. So, and I encourage everybody to make his own decision. You can choose to support Jubilee. You can choose to support PLP, like Akina Keep. I have no problem with you, but you have to allow the truth to percolate. The truth of the matter is that DCP popularity is surging, and that is not something which we can wish away. And to whether they are doing the right thing, that is what now we are monitoring. But in terms of surging, in terms of what they are doing, they seem to be doing, because now they are the people who are now opposing the government. So show me another person who is opposing government like the way DCP is doing. So that is why efforts are naturally rewarded. So that is the rule of the jungle. The rule of the jungle is that efforts are rewarded. So if we have to win this war, sio kila kitu inachukiwa. So you have to find the people you can collaborate with. You have to know your enemies. You have to know your friends. That's what you need to do. In life, you have to work in that trajectory. So I'm not worried of that. As long as the DCP is serving the Kenyan interest, we are on their side. If they get away of Kenyan interest, we quit them. So there's no relationship. It's not like a cordial relationship which we have. It's a relationship based on things which we want achieved in Kenya. But kuna kitu tulikuwa nataka kuoneshana, it's like I don't see it. I had seen it earlier on in the morning. It was about and if you want to, it was about the way Akorino have decided to support Ruto. There's something I wanted to talk about the Akorino church, and the reason why you are seeing now Akorino media actors becoming very popular in Kenya. Now you can now relate the two. Ni kama nimekosa hiyo clip, kama kuna mtu anajua ilikuwa inasemaje, but it was somewhere in NTV. NTV had explained that the Akorino church has decided to support Ruto. Now you can understand now the reason why now Akorino people were artificially becoming very popular in Kenya, especially even some of their content creators. So now those things go hand in hand. But I don't think the Akorino Church will be able to command that serious support for Ruto, because I think now the Akorino Church has decided to abandon Kenyans. I don't know actually the population of Akorino Church in Kenya ni wangapi, but they have decided to go on the other side. So they have backstabbed the Kenyans. So that one is very bad of them. So but hizo kanisa tu zitaenda kwa akina Ruto, hizo nazijua hizo akina, because hiyo Akorino, Renjo Maria, I think they would drift towards that direction. So, but it's okay. So I don't think I could have been a little bit shocked if it was like the Catholic Church. So if it was like Catholic Church, I could have gotten shocked. But if it is Akorino, I think Akorino we can allow them to support Ruto because they are a bit shaky. So yeah. So that is what is happening. Then you saw Watu Empowerment, what happened to them. No one received those piki. So that one now tells you about the trajectory of lives of Mr. Ruto. So if no one is kama saa hii town yenyu, because nasikia hiyo mkutano ya State House ilikuwa imetembewa na vijana kutoka Kenya mzima. You are in Embu, you are in Nairobi, you are in Kakamega, Migori. Show me piki moja imetoka State House na iko na kijana saa hii. That's how you confirm that things are not working okay. So I will keep on looking for that video of Wakorino. It was very serious. I couldn't understand it, but I listened. Sijui kama kuna mtu mwingine alisikia, lakini ni kama Wakorino wameamua kudrift kwa Ruto and so Jiro, what did you go? I don't understand there. So yeah, so the biggest news in Kenya now is Gachagua is returning on Thursday. So I would also want to hear your prediction. Do you think Wakenya watatokezea? Do you think Wakenya watatokezea? Ni swali tu nauliza. Mnafikiri Wakenya watatokezea? So can we do a prediction? Let's see who will get it. Do you think tutapata huo mfuriko wa watu? Then there was also some other propaganda which was coming to the nation. Watu walikuwa wanasema ati Donald Trump ni kama amekataana na story ya Ruto ya Gachagua. I don't think even Donald Trump had been briefed about that situation of Kenya. So I think that one was I think hapo gazeti walitumia Gata Press. Then there was also somebody who was saying that Gachagua will be meeting with Sudi. Ati Sudi is in America, ati wanatafutana. I doubted that. So
no offense, but if you're paying more than $30 a month for car insurance, you're getting ripped off.
Everybody. Gachagua amesema anarejea mapema kwa matayarisho na kampeni za chaguzi ndogo zitakazofanyika Novemba 27 mwaka huu, chama hicho kikiahidi kuweka vijana mbele katika sera zake.
My youth have been let down by our current regime. They have seen their fellow young people harassed, charged on fabricated accusations, and even killed, simply because of exercising their democratic right to protest.
We really hope that the youth will be represented 50% share in leadership positions and everything that concerns DCP party.
Gachagua amekuwa Marekani kwa zaidi ya mwezi mmoja sasa, huku akiendelea kurindima kisiasa, huku wanasiasa wanaoegemea upande wa serikali wakimtaka kudumisha amani atakaporejelea misururu ya mikutano yake.
Wakirudi hapa tuambie Kenya inataka amani. Kenya ilizoea amani wakati mlipeleka vitina yenu nje ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tunajua mumeenda kuombaomba pesa kidogo, na hata najua hiyo pesa itawasaidia, ilikuwa ni ya lunch. Saa ingine naona mnapiga mapicha huko.
When people say Ruto must go, for me, they are not just saying the president must go, but they are saying they want the entire system to go. That means they want even the current joint opposition to go.
Wakati huo huo, viongozi wa kitaifa wa dini ya Korino nchini wametangaza kuunga mkono serikali ya Kenya Kwanza sasa na kwenye uchaguzi ujao.
Sisi tunaombea rais wetu.
That is it. Oh, I didn't know that it was hived in this message. So I think it was hived in this message. So ni mimi sikuwa nakumbuka. So nataka sasa msikilize hapa wa Korino. Huyu ni Faruk, you know that is a noise on bill.
Kenya ilizoea amani wakati mlipeleka vitina yenu nje ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tunajua mumeenda kuombaomba pesa kidogo, na hata najua hiyo pesa itawasaidia, ilikuwa ni ya lunch. Saa ingine naona mnapiga mapicha huko.
When people say Ruto must go, for me, they are not just saying the president must go, but they are saying they want the entire system to go. That means they want even the current joint opposition to go.
Wakati huo huo, viongozi wa kitaifa wa dini ya Korino nchini wametangaza kuunga mkono serikali ya Kenya Kwanza sasa na kwenye uchaguzi ujao.
Sisi tunaombea rais wetu, kwa sababu nchi ambaye haina amani hauwezi enda kwa shamba. Nchi ambaye haina amani hatuwezi weka duka. Nchi ambaye haina amani haiwezi kuwa na umoja.
We are under spiritual obligation to play for those in power. How can you play for those you do not support?
Ken Gashuhi, KTN.
Bila shaka baada ya taarifa hiyo nataka nipate pumziko.
How can you play for those who you do not support? So Wakorino wanasema lazima upige support serikali yako, ikuwe kama inakunyonga, inakuibia, doesn't matter. So the Korino Church has declared the unending support for Ruto. So that's how it is. So the Korino Church has declared the unending support for Ruto. So I don't know why. I don't know why the Korino Church is privy to, or they don't have information of. Rhetoric ago, kids were dying. Rhetoric ago, things were not working in our nation. The economy is not working. There is a lot of plundering. I'm just hearing that the hospitals are collapsing. One person was actually telling me that some of the hospitals. Let me read for you a message which was sent to me by one of our viewers here. Na sijui alitoa hii ujumbe wapi, but I hope it is factual. So you can fact check her. There is a message nimetumiwa hapa. Where is it? Ndiye huyu. The information was about St. Mary Hospital in Nairobi has been a place of healing and care for many people. It was founded 100 years ago and has served the community with dedication. For many generations, people relied on the hospital for treatment, advice, and comfort. Now the hospital has closed, ending a long history of service. So, nasikia St. Mary's Hospital, gone. Then I'm hearing that something has happened in Nairobi Hospital, Thika level 4 and level 5. Yeah, these are some of the institutions which have already collapsed or they are on their verge of collapsing. Then, kuna vijana wetu, huyu kijana wetu sijui siku hizi yako wapi. I think Huyu ndio kijana alikuwa anatugonga mistari mingi sana. I think that is the boy who used to do a lot of stories for us. I think ndiye alikuwa anatufanya tuelewe government spending, if I'm right. Wacha niwekee huyu kijana alipewa pikipiki halafu akaambiwa akangojea kwa gate. I think hiyo nilitumiwa na mwingine. Where is it? There is a boy alipewa pikipiki akaambiwa atapelekewa kwa gate. Where is he? Ndiye huyu.
Qualification ilikuwa tu ID. Tulifika tukakula vizuri. After kukula kaingia na soda, kaingia ndani. Mr. Speaker, najilaumu. Tena, mimi mwenyewe najichukia. Kujipeleka State House. Mimi mwenyewe nilipigwa picha na pikipiki na kifungu ya pikipiki. Nikaambiwa aende pale kwa gari unaletewa. Hiyo gari ukitoka hivi, Yesu ende nyumbani.
Yeah, so that is one of the boy alienda State House na akapigwa picha na pikipiki, and it's so bad kuchezea watu hivyo ati unapigwa picha. I don't think kama ni kupigwa picha na kitu unaweza pigwa picha hata hapa kwa town yenu. I don't think we need to transport people for pictures. That was so bad. But kuna kitu nilikuwa nikitaka kuconfirm hapa. Kenyan elites, Kenyans who feel they want to be now partakers of Kenyan way of life and Kenyan thought line. Kuna kitu moja we need to do. Hii maneno wewe ambaye tunataka siasa yetu ikuwe inatengenezwa katika hizi bunge la wananchi. In my own analysis, mimi naona bunge la wananchi, there are some of the places whereby they have contributed in destroying our political thinking. And I think now we need to start taking Kenyan politics beyond bunge la mwananchi. Why? Because these people of bunge la mwananchi, they are not hinged. Ni watu ambao tumeona occasionally wengine they can easily be bought, wanapewa pesa wanafanya nini. So to me I think like bunge la mwananchi as a waiting bay for people to be bribed. And I feel like we have to start now getting our thoughts from bunge la mwananchi. Let's not stop creating our politics kwa bunge la mwananchi. Bunge la mwananchi will actually destroy our way of thinking. Let's now take politics to our home. If we need those localized places where we need to talk about politics, but bunge la mwananchi is not a place to take Kenyan politics now. I think now we need to decongest those places with our thinking. Let's allow Kenyans of all walks of life to talk. Let people in the cities talk, people in rural areas talk. But let's not rely on this bunge la mwananchi. There are so many people on bunge la mwananchi we have relied on, and we have ended up being auctioned to Ruto or being auctioned to Raila Odinga. I think now bunge la mwananchi is a holding point to serve both Ruto and Raila Odinga. And these places we have now to start seeing how we can get away from them. So I'm one of the person now who no longer supports bunge la mwananchi, because now bunge la mwananchi is a holding ground for Ruto and Raila. Is no longer a holding ground of thoughts. Bunge la mwananchi has raised people like Akina almost 1 hour. People like almost 1 hour, when they got an opportunity, what did they do? They have done all the wrong things. Akina Gaucho pretended to be bunge la mwananchi. Where did they go? So we have now to take our politics elsewhere. But bunge la mwananchi as it is does not hold our thinking. Our thinking is in our table rooms. In our table rooms, tukua tunakula chakula kule kama familia zetu na watoto zetu wetu. That is where we need to take politics now. Let's now avoid these areas where we are talking about politics in the streets and with the people who are waiting to be bought. yeah, we will lose everything. So let's see how we can talk with our relatives, we can talk with our wives, with our children, and they be able to understand the political environment of Kenya. But if we want to work with Bunge la Mwananchi, we are going to fail again. In fact, Bunge la Mwananchi participated enormously in the failure of Raila Odinga. Enormously in the failure of Raila Odinga. So at the center of destruction of Raila Odinga, Bunge la Mwananchi is there to blame. So we have now to be more intellectual than the way we have been doing things, but we cannot continue with that trajectory of now giving Bunge la Mwananchi a lot of power. We give them a lot of power, they upside that power on our behalf, or they go and even auction that power to Ruto. So Bunge la Mwananchi, we have to stop focusing on them. So that is something I had to say that I had to comment here, because Bunge la Mwananchi is no longer representing the Kenyan way of thinking. The Kenyan way of thinking is with mama mboga huko chini, wazazi wetu, wazee wetu, but not like these people who are like trying to get very happy sababu wanaona mtu akichemusha samaki pale. And these are normal things which happens all the time. Now Homa Bay has become a new home ground for them, and I think now they feel now they are more entitled to be with Ruto than all the other people. Although some of us say ati tunaulizia Ruto ati akue pande yetu, but you can now see this the willingness of some people to cooperate with Ruto, regardless of what has happened today. Few years ago, somebody from Homa Bay Ojwang died. We have now forgotten, because that is the behavior of Kenyans. We forget highly. So hiyo video Wakorino, please mark it very much. Wakorino wameenda kwa Ruto. So that one tells you now you can now connect Mama Teresa Moraya, you can connect Karango, you can connect all those funny things which have been happening on Taban people. Taban people, you can now connect. They cannot just suddenly they have decided, and it is not about that praying for the government. Even the Bible itself says you have to do something. There's no way in which you can pray for evil government. So I don't know, like, in terms of that level, wakati wanasema lazima uombee ile serikali kwa mamlakani, unaiombea ifanye nini? And they already know the right thing to do. These are people who are stealing from you openly, and they come to pretend that they are not stealing. They're now coming to say that the parliament is very corrupt, but they cannot explain the corruption which the executive is doing. If the parliament is very corrupt, who is giving them money? Always it is the executive which takes money to parliament. So when Ruto pretends to be somebody who is like fighting corruption, is lovable. He now pretends that at the end anapingana na corruption, yeye anajua story ya pesa ni aje. Yeah. So that was a statement which was not meant for anyone. So don't listen to that statement. So hiyo story ya huyo kijana anasema alipigwa tu picha na pikipiki alafu he couldn't see it again. That one is so unfortunate. I think niliwaonesha mjukuu wa Buduki also confirm the same. And then we appreciate, like, as we raise idiots, we also raising people who can be able to think critically. Na lazima tuombee hao vijana, hata kama Ruto ananunua asinunue wote. So at least tubaki tu na vijana ambao are sensible, who can be able to come and hammer rhetoric back to our people, because we need people to continue talking the truth. The government has not suddenly changed. It doesn't mean that the Ruto issues have changed. That is why watu wanaenda pande yake. He is using optics and African of Cup na vitu zingine, trying to see like if people can surge back to him again. But it doesn't mean that he has changed his way of life. He has changed his thinking. Mukiandamana leo amuta uawa. It doesn't mean that those things have changed. So we need to be clear about that. So Bosiredi anasema wacha atoke kidogo, ni sawa, that one we accept. So those are things which are happening. So we have to continue with the rhetoric, and we cannot give up. And any person who is on our side, we have to support them. Yeah, any person who is true, we have to start truncating quickly. How watu can they be bought? That is now the assignment which we have to do now. lazima tujue, we have to quickly analyze people who cannot be bought. Lakini tukianalyze tuone huyu mtu anaweza nunuliwa, we have to, itabidi sasa tuwashikilie na magamba ya mgomba wa ndizi, tusiwafunge na hii kamba ya saiso ama ya nylon, haiwezi katika. Mnambeba akienda ile pande mbaya, hiyo kamba inakatika, unabaki huru. But because we have to start gauging the reliability of these people who we are supporting. We have all made a decision that we cannot be on the side of the government. But at the same time, as we make that decision that we cannot be on the side of the government, we have also to understand the people who are in opposition. The government is also sending some to us so that they can confuse us, or they can be working for them inside opposition. So that is why we need to be very careful. We have to support opposition. We have no otherwise. We hope that opposition will do the right commitments to us, but we have to be very straightforward and strategic on what we are doing, so that we don't just support people from blind eyes. So that one we have to be very clear and categorical about. Again, you can subscribe our channel also, so that we can keep on growing. When truth is staring us in the eyes and people choose to ignore, it means only one thing: God's judgment is near. We have to keep on pushing the rhetoric. No one needs those empowerment programs. If you need to empower Kenyans, there are very special ways in which you can empower them. You can empower them from their farm produce. You can empower them through education. You can empower them through their daily activities, or even giving them jobs. But you cannot empower Kenyans on handouts. That is an outdated way. You cannot empower Kenyans by calling them in a stadium na unawapikia. That one is very temporary. And I don't think there is any Kenyan who should be supporting such a rhetoric. Kenyans should be supporting a man who is talking about future, who is talking about changing our neighborhoods, who is talking about building some industry so that some people can be employed, bringing income to our country. Those are the things we should be talking about, not about correcting us ili tupewe pesa, which is very artificial and temporary. It doesn't make sense. So those are things which Kenyans have to look at, even as people think like, nimesikia Kindiki huyu noma si noma, wakiwa na Musalia Mudavadi wanatutishia wakituambia ati in Africa getting a second term is very easy. Ati sio rahisi. Sio rahisi kung'oa Ruto. Wacha niwatafutie. Wacha niwaekee ati Mudavadi anasema hatuwezi ng'oa Ruto according to him. Then I ask my question, Mudavadi lives in which century? Let's listen in.
So we are open to that.
Let's look at matters politics, and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi now says it will be very difficult for the opposition to beat President William Ruto in the 2027 presidential election, saying history had shown that there has never been a one-term president in Kenya. Mudavadi also doubles up as the CS for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, says that President Ruto's track record in office will give him a second term. Mudavadi was speaking during a joint interview with local journalists from Kakamega County.
Kama mtu ambaye ni mwanasiasa na mimi nasoma siasa katika bara la Afrika, na mimi pia niko Minister for Foreign Affairs, kwa hivyo naona mambo mengi ambayo yanafanyika katika bara la Afrika. Nilikuwa naambia watu kwamba ni vigumu sana kumshinda rais ambako yuko mamlakani na katiba inamruhusu kwenda kwa muhula wa pili. Tukumbuke kwamba ule upepo wa NAK, kumbukeni ulikuja kwa sababu Moi alikuwa amemaliza mihula yake. Alikuwa amemaliza 2 terms zake na alikuwa anaondoka. Sasa wave ya Kibaki ikafanya nini? Ikaingia.
Sawa, maneno ndio hiyo. Mudavadi ametuambia ni vile, I think it is a different way of saying something which Kibaki said long time ago. Ni kama kukata mugumo tree na razor blade. So Mudavadi is telling us, and by the way, Mudavadi has been always on the wrong side of the history. Ni Ruto tu aliangukia. I think Mudavadi hata hiyo tu upepo ilimbeba tu. So Mudavadi is telling us that kung'oa Ruto sio rahisi, according to him. So it doesn't matter what Ruto has done. It doesn't matter his track record, but getting somebody out who is going for a second term is nearly impossible. That is what he said, is nearly impossible. Lakini huyo sio mtu ambaye ako kwa upinzani anatuambia hivyo. Huyo ni mtu ako kwa serikali. So I understand when he says that. Ni psychophants inamsumbua. Lazima psychophants imwambie aseme hivyo. So psychophants hata mimi ningekuwa na support Ruto, ningekuja kuambia hivi. Ningekuja kuambia wakubwa, huyu mtu amwezi ngoa. That's how I should that's how I'm receiving my paycheck. But sisi ambao tuko upande huu mwingine, do you agree with what Mudavadi is saying, that getting Ruto out is nearly impossible? I don't believe that getting Ruto out is nearly impossible, and I will prove it how possible it is. Wacha nichukue karatasi kidogo, lazima tuandike chini. Let me explain how Ruto will get out. Re-election. I want to educate Mudavadi today. What determines re-election? Re-election is determined by 3 things. Item number 1, maybe I can use the American model, and then we can try to post it. In America, when you are going for re-election, there are 3 things you look at. There is something we call approval. The approval rating. Approval rating is the number of people who support you as they hate you. How many people support you? How many people don't want you? 39-51. There are some US president you hear approval 39, disapproval 51. So approval is one of the things. In America, if your approval is beyond 45, chances of re-election is close to 1. Number two is support from major constituencies. Support from major constituencies. When I talk of it's not like the Kenyan. When I talk of support of major constituencies, it's like a organization of workers, like these huge bodies. Yeah? Support from major constituencies, like government employees, unions of government employees, union of workers, all those people. Major corporates, they now start coming to you. Major actors, that's what I'm saying, support from major constituencies. Major actors, they are big people supporting you, people who carry influence. Elon Musk is coming to you. Big tech is coming to you. I'm just trying to say it in a nice way. The last one is your scorecard. Scorecard is because you are fighting for a second term, you now have a place to be compared to. There is a comparison because you want a second term, so you have to be compared. So let me explain to you. So nimeandika hizo ni vitu tatu hapo. So nimesema approval rating, how popular are you as per this particular time? Ruto is 22% popular. The approval rating for Ruto is 22. The other day I told you the magic number is 33. So 22 versus 33, he has to still build 11 to reach to the magic number. And I don't know how you'll be able to build that 11. Support from major constituencies. When we talk of support from major constituencies, in Kenya, we are talking about payslip people, watu wanafanya kazi. If today Kenyan workers are interviewed and they are asked, if you get a chance to go to the election, are you going to vote for Ruto? You need to tell me those are major constituencies. Payslip people, workers, business people, small scale, Juakali, hustlers. Are they with Ruto? It matters. Those are people because those are things you can scale. Then scorecard. Scorecard is what have you done in education? What have you done on infrastructure? What have you done on health? All those things, they also contribute. So if I look at all these three things, if I look at all these three things, Mr. Ruto is having a very bad day, because on all these three things they are not working well. And I'm not saying that opposition we are equally better on these issues. I'm not saying this, but remember, if you are unpopular and the people do not support you, they automatically go to your opposition. That is what happened. If people don't want you, they go somewhere. And there's something I wanted to explain to people here, that when we are talking about why do people support opposition, people do not support opposition because they like it. That's why, saa zingine nakuja hapa nasema vitu and then people are not agreeing with me, or people think like I'm hallucinating. People never support opposition because they like it. People support opposition because it is fighting what they don't want. So, but they usually have that hope that the opposition will be responsible enough to solve their problems. So, let me explain to you again. You will not support opposition because you like them. You will support opposition because they are anti what you don't want. That is the rule of the jungle. So, and that's why we say opposition gets windfalls. Oppositions naturally even get support which they did not deserve, because people do not want this. They now go to the opposite of that. And that's why I said here, even some of the support which Gachagua is getting here is not like is not a royal support. It's the support he is getting because people don't want Ruto. That's what happens. So unakuta sasa unapata tu mtu anakuja kusupport wewe because he feels like we need this now. These people, there are some things they are telling us they can change, because there are so many bad things which are happening. You don't want them, you go to opposition. So that is why opposition becomes rhythm. And opposition don't win because they are equally good. They could, but I'm not saying that opposition win because they're equally good, but they become a necessity. When you are fighting, somebody is saying, I need to fight brutality, I need to fight corruption. There are so many. So that's why opposition gets support by nature. So hapo ndio nakutanga sasa opposition wameangukia. Much of the support in opposition na kuanga ya kuangukia, because watu wataki hii wanakuja kwa hii. So that is what happens. So I needed people to really understand that. So it doesn't mean that when you see opposition succeeding, opposition is succeeding because they have done things very well. Apana. It is like people are trying to run from camp A to camp B. And now opposition has, that is why the only thing opposition needs to do, that is why it is very easy to win an election as an opposition globally, not only even in Kenya alone. If you want to win, if the people on the receiving end of winning an election is opposition, what you need to do is just present what the other side is not giving. That's all what you need to do. Make yourself a comfort zone. People are dissatisfied at point A, make yourself give satisfaction on your zone, and people will start resonating with you. That is why when I see Matiang'i not resonating with the Kenyans, when I see Kalonzo Musyoka not being able to vibrate the system, nashangaa sana. Why? And it is very easy to campaign as opposition. It's the easiest thing to do, because Those people have done mistakes, they have done errors. You now pilot your rhetoric based on things which the government is not doing or is not achieving, and the complaints. That's how you assemble your campaign. You are looking at complaints, you are looking at things which are happening on the basic life of people and building a campaign on that. In fact, mtu opposition anakuanga na marking scheme yote. That is why when you're opposition and you're not able to galvanize people into your camp, you must be very lazy because you know everything. You know what is not happening, you know what is happening. So kazi yako is to monitor the situation and to package your rhetoric the way opposition can, the way people can understand. So that is why opposition should be able to become popular quickly if they understand to press the right button. So you don't need to be worried about that. So when it comes like people like Akina Gachagua, Matiang'i, Madhakaro, all those people, they should be able to galvanize people quickly because they already understand the Kenyan problem and they know how they can approach Kenyans. And the Kenyans are already tired. It's that simple. So let us not get worried about how the opposition will campaign. Opposition will have the easiest moment if they choose to represent the real rhetoric and the real dialogue. So if there are people who are not worried about how they will do their campaign, it is the opposition. I'm not worried of how Gachagua will present himself to Kenyans. All what Gachagua needs to do is to package the Kenyan problems properly. That's all what he needs. And that is why it is easier for him to campaign. Because there are so many problems which Kenyans have. Institutions are failing. Things are not working. So let's work on that. And we understand that we can actually change the dialogue of Kenya into the right dimension. So let's not be worried of what is happening. You hear? So that's why I'm trying to say that opposition is the easiest to assemble a narrative. If you are serious, Lakini, do you mean their fate has been sealed? They cannot undo the narrative from Gachagua. And those are things which I can tell you that it is very easy to defend the government globally. Sio ati Kenya peke yake. Kama kuna watu wanakuanga na shida kujidefend ni serikali, especially when so many things have crashed or collapsed. So, and that is why I am saying here, you must be a very thick-headed person ama ukue mjinga wa mwisho if you are unable to assemble a rhetoric to fight a government. And that is why sometimes government come into this idea of oppression and intimidation tactic, saying that amwezi tutoa hapa, tunaweza iba kura. So that's how the government they will try to demoralize you. But frankly speaking, is that the opposition is always on the poor position if you handle your story well. That's why I'm trying to tell you that if the Kenyan opposition is serious, they can easily get Ruto out of power if they are serious. But if they are not serious, it will not happen. I've already given you 3 things which determine if somebody is going to stay in power or not. And all these 3 things here, nothing seems to work out for Ruto. Ruto is not popular. There are no major constituencies supporting him other than Wakorino. Wakorino is not a major constituency. Wakorino Kenya sifikiri hata kama wanaweza fika, hata wakifika 1,100 ni sawa. Kura 1,100. So those are some of the constituencies. I've not heard like the Association of Manufacturers, like these big groups, Association of Workers supporting scorecard. So scorecard is very low. So he cannot make it. So yes, Ruto can make it, but he needs to steal the election. So, and that's something like that. The only way in which Ruto can make it with this with this rating ni aibe kura tu roho safi. So wewe, and I can tell him he should invest on a system to steal the election. Yeah, so aende atafute akina Kamago and all those people who like maybe they need to steal the election on his behalf. We were given the hint that the election will be stolen. So kama wataiba ni sawa, they can win. Na kama wataiba na wasijulikane watashida. Lakini ati munaenda munapiga kura ati munangojea zihesabiwe. Iwezekani. Because remember, election is emotion. Even as people try to fight the government, election is emotion. Are you serving my even as people want to be corrupted, even as people want to be bribed and given money? Remember, at the end of the day, ile kitu wa Kenya wanataka ni, can I get a reliable government for my children? Even as they don't think that, and because people are being given money, they are not thinking. You know, those are some of the things which we pretend like that they are not happening. Ati tunaanzia kufikiria ati sababu watu wanakula pesa, watu wafikiri. Let me tell you, you will pay people and they will still vote for whoever they want. There is now that a change of trajectory. We are not in 1990. Ile kura ya Mlolongo. Ile ambayo watu walikuwa wanapigishwa laini, watu walikuwa wanapigishwa laini lazima uone. Okay, and I understand there are those who do not think, but let me tell you, kama mtu wa bunge la mwananchi, you can see he is holding a meaningful dialogue. He can talk. You know, you can corrupt people better. You cannot corrupt everybody to corrupt. Anyway, and let me say it this way. You cannot corrupt your way to State House. You cannot corrupt your ways to State House. There are some things which have to work, but there's no in which that everything is not working. The foundational issues have to be okay. Watu wakienda hospitali wanapata madawa. Because this is what will happen, for your information. Even these artificial regions, unaona Ruto akipewa na majamaa wengine, it is not that they support him. Very soon, even some of the people munaona ni kama wako pande ya Ruto wataruka. I heard Kimani wa Matiang'i saying something, not Kimani wa Matiang'i. Let me look for him. Ndio nataka mujue. Because they can feel it from the ground. He said something about UDA. Kimani wa Matiang'i. I saw a clip from him. Let me look for it. I saw a clip from him and na nikaona huyu. Okay, ni sawa. Ana anasema wengine wafikiri, but and if you don't think today, you will think tomorrow. So not using your brain is very costly. Let me just look for. Wacha nitafute Kimani wa Matiang'i. Hiyo video nilikutana nayo pahali. Sijui nani alinitumia hiyo video. Yeah, I'm just trying to look for it. Na siku hizi wamama wanakataa, wanaume wanakataa wamama bila aibu. Let me try to see the. Aisoke man wamatiange sana, wamatange sana. Nasijui kama mlisikia vile mbunge wa Thika alisema huyu mama. Na hii serikali bwana. Yeah, I'm looking for Kimani Mati. But Kimani alisema hata hii UDA tutaipaka rangi. I'm not able to see it, but it's listen to this, and these are the people. These are people looking for second term. That is somebody looking for second term for Ruto, and she is actually overhyping prostitution openly. It's so sad. She is overhyping prostitution openly. Ati yeye sababu ana mzee, yeye anaenda na whoever. What? Mudavadi ndiye anatuambia hiyo ndio timu ya kutoa ni mtu kama huyu, hata akikuja kuombea kura uta. Nataka muendelee kusikiliza. I want to show you the level of desperation which these people they are, and you tell me how can you get, even when Moi was looking for kura for Uhuru, he did not go to this. This is a collapse of Tower of Babel.
Hata ukitaka ile zawadi unataka hapa utapata. Ni mama. Sema kitu tu. Nifanye hiyo maneno Florence anasema. Niseme nisiseme. Niseme nisiseme. Fire si fire. Noma si noma. Haya, nitasema. Hata ukitaka ile zawadi unataka hapa utapata. Ni mama. Sema kitu tu. Nifanye hiyo maneno Florence anasema. Niseme nisiseme. Niseme nisiseme.
Yeah, hiyo ni second term inatafutwa. Na muniambie hata tukua disorganizaji, no matter our disorganization. No, they are not AI. My dear, they are not AI. Hata hii ni AI ingine.
Jitikiria tondu ndakorora ugitikiria mundu wako ha kabadu na andu aria ndio waku ni colleague I mean colleague ona ndo ndiketuika senator gwire tauga jitikiria tondu ndakorora ugitikiria mundu wako ha kabadu na andu aria ndio waku ni colleague I mean colleague ona ndo ndiketuika senator gwire tauga jitikiria tondu ndakorora ugitikiria mundu wako ha kabadu na andu aria ndio waku ni
watu siku hizi wanakataana hadharani. Of course Kabado alijua hii kunaweza waka moto kwa nyumba, so he had to clarify that. So these are people fanning Tutam rhetoric. These are wewe uniambie kama these are people who are on the trajectory of looking for anything serious in this life. So that's why Anne and whoever and all the people who are listening here, who are they? I can see there is Anne who is commenting. There is Likle. That's why you should not be worried. Hiyo ni gari imepiga mwamba. I don't think Ruto regime can be saved na watakuja kujua sahi. I don't think they can be rescued, unfortunately. It's so sad to say that, but I don't think Ruto regime can be rescued because it has reached a time whereby they have refused to focus on issues, and they are only focusing on things which do not matter to Kenyans. Mr. Fire see fire is very temporary. Ni kama huyu jamaa tu aliambiwa tu kazi yako tu ni kwenda ukionjesha watu lollipop. Peremende, endo kuonjesha huko. I think somebody did a very serious watu walifanya a very serious analysis of Mount Kenya. Sijui nani alifanya analysis ya Mount Kenya, na watu wa mlima wakaonekana ni kama wanapenda vitu za anasa sana, ama vitu hazieleweki. Because there's no in which you can tell me that empowerment program had to be conceived na iletwe in that nature in Mount Kenya region. Inakaa like watu wa mlima ni kama mlionekana nyinyi mnapenda vitu hazieleweki sana. Because I don't know, but yani nyinyi you don't know, amutaki ma project, nyinyi amutaki vitu kama barabara, madaraja or things which are tangible. Nyinyi ni mletoe tu hizo vitu tu zinakaa casual. Yeah, I think that one was that one is so that's why I was saying that people should not be worried of that. So let's monitor and see how the opposition is going to assemble itself. I hope the opposition is having the right arsenal required. I hope Gachagua has been able to build an enough coalition from abroad. So I don't know if Gachagua will be able to go to another country other than America. I hope, or I wish, he should also be able to go to Asia, because I believe there are also Kenyans in Asia, especially in major cities. I don't know how many they could be. Maybe we have Kenyans in Tokyo. We have Kenyans in Beijing, China. And I think he should also be thinking about how to go to those areas as well and build that coalition. Those are people with resources. Those are people who want to see their country becoming better, because some of the people, even if they live abroad, they also want to have even businesses in Kenya. So I think that outreach, which he did in America, where he was able to have big conglomerate meetings with in more than 6 cities in America, it was serious. He was in Seattle. He was in California, 2 cities, that is San Francisco and Los Angeles. He was in Kansas City. That is Kansas. Hata sikujua Kansas iko na Wakenya wengi hivyo. He was in Kansas. Huko ni huko chini. He went to Kansas. He was, where else? He was in Maryland. I don't know if in Maryland he went to Baltimore. Massachusetts, Boston. Yeah. So amejaribu those places where he really went. To me, I think they served them. They served as well. So please as well, if you have not subscribed our channel, nitakuomba kwa heshima you subscribe our channel so that we can keep on funneling this information. So united opposition should not fear. If we have to fear, unless we fear our strategy. But if our strategy is working, there's no problem of wahala. So there's no need of any wahala. Things are working. So we have to monitor how Gachagua ataingia kwa jiji. Lazima tuangalie Gachagua ataingia kwa jiji. So that is something we need to monitor carefully. So I don't know how Gachagua ataingia kwa jiji, but let's see the crowds which will come to him. Actually, and I think the government will want to suppress that. Sababu Gachagua atakuwa na watu wengi sana kwa airport. I think it will also not try to bring a good picture there. So they will try to push it. I don't know how they will be able to fight it, because they don't want Gachagua to have a victory lap. Because you can imagine if Gachagua is in the airport and he is welcomed by 500,000 people, have 1 million people wako hapo, watu wanaweza jaa karibu stadium mzima, and they want to deflate that. Serikali, this is what serikali nataka kuonesha Gachagua ni mtu wa kawaida na hakuna mtu wako na yeye. So that is what they want to do. Huyu ni mtu wa kawaida. Naye Gachagua and his cronies and his people, they want to show that this person is commanding popularity. So there are two groups which are on the opposing edges. One group want to show the government the middle finger that we can do these things without you. And another group want to show that utafanya kile tunataka. So that's why now these things are becoming strategically dangerous, because now ni mvutano, wanavutana sasa. Kuna group moja they want to prove that Gachagua is a monumental character in Kenya. Another group inataka kusema nyinyi amujui. You will only do events which we are ready and we want. So those are things which Gachagua has to be prepared on. And Gachagua has to know how so they will try to push Kenyan population which will be trying to go to the airport. So usifikiria ati itakuwa tu rahisi hivi tu ati Gachagua tu ati anatokezea tu airport. They will push people. I don't think it will be what people want, but they will try to push him. So I hope so ni kama wamebadilishana na Raila Odinga. Now Gachagua is a new person wa kukura tear gas. So there could be some tear gas kwa barabara. So sijaiona Gachagua akiwa kwa tear gas. So maybe this one could be his first moment ya kukura tear gas, because the government will not allow that, because Gachagua getting that victory. Gachagua is in the airport, 500,000 people are waiting for him. They cannot allow that. It will be like working against themselves. So the government will have to work very hard to make sure that Gachagua is not received. So either they will put blockades, that's what they will do, but they will not just allow ati story ya Gachagua kukaribishwa. Na kama kuna story ya Gachagua kukaribishwa, they will want to make it a Nyeri affair. So that's what will happen. So they will make sure that Nairobi is not accessible, places like Thika are not accessible. So watataka tu aende akafanya rally zake huko Nyeri na huko Embu, just like the way he has been doing even with the phone. I saw a very good speech of him in Embu yesterday, and I think his salvos are still beating. Ni kama Bwana Gachagua salvo zake zinapiga. So like sijui kama mliona hii Gachagua aliwekea wa Embu and quarters ya Mlima.
Of someone like I want you guys to listen to Rigathi Gachagua's address to the people of Mbere, because it's going to form the basis of this analysis. Kenzimbo. Watu ya Mbere North, nyinyi ndio mtatafutia sisi heshima wa kukataa mambo ya Kasongo na UDA. Si tumekubaliana? Kwa sababu kupigia mtu ya UDA ni kupigia Kasongo kura, si kweli? Umechoka na Kasongo, hamjachoka? Itakuwaje Kasongo ameumiza watu ya Mbere North, akuje kutanganya watu wachague mtu ya UDA? Mnaweza kubali? Mimi nataka mtengeneze ground nzuri, nikirudi kutoka Amerikani nikuje, si ndio? Huyu MCA wenu anatosha? Anaweza hawezi? Huyu kijana Mkuji ni shujaa si shujaa? Ni mwanaume si mwanaume? Watu wetu wa ishara mtashikilia huko? Utapatia Kasongo nafasi kweli? Basi nimeshukuru sana watu wetu na yamura adime doka nebo kakugoshera na nebo nemukwe na tuke ku ishara. Ladies and gentlemen,
that is a Gachagua call. He is connecting with the crowd in a call. I've never seen another politician. I think we have to credit Gachagua with such things. Sijaona mtu ambaye asahau kule anaenda. I think that is why he is very different. I think this guy knows how to galvanize them. We might not like him, but his style of politics is polarizing one. Is a dangerous one. And I think Gachagua will be able to has been able to neutralize Ruto. And the fact that he has been able now to redirect that energy of Mlima Kenya to somewhere else, we need to credit what he has done. Sawa sawa. So let's keep on monitoring. Kama uko upinzani, shikilia upinzani na mikono yako yote miwili. Because there's nothing else you can support other than supporting upinzani. Upinzani will make it possible that Kenya is getting liberation. We want Kenyans to be rescued. We have already truncated that Kenya cannot be rescued by Ruto. So ni hawa watu wa upinzani watupee formula. We have no any other alternative other than to support the opposition. Na mtu asikuulize vitu mingi, atasikwambia ati hawa watu ni plan gani wako nayo. Hiyo vitu usifikirie. As long as somebody is anti-Ruto, at least he has given you a half of the solution. It seems that huyo mtu ni kama anaelewa shida. So the idea all the time that tunaambiwa sijui nini, hawa watu tu they will be like Ruto. No. We have never gotten a worse leadership like the one we have now. Hata mtu akutumia guesswork haiwezi kuwa kama hao wako sahi. So somebody should not come and tell you that the opposition will be like the government. No, they are different. These people seem to be a little bit conscious. They understand. Anyway, I need to leave and go to somewhere. Lakini tutapatana kesho. So if there is anyone who will want to join the studio, utaniambia kesho. Otherwise, I appreciate. Let's meet tomorrow.